Tell us about your first entrepreneurial experience.
Well, actually, it was a couple of years ago. I think I was in Spain when I decided that I should bring some of the knowledge in soccer um, to Ecuador. So I I had met a couple of people there that were in kind of like the soccer training industry, and so we designed kind of a plan to bring some of like these young students that were totally trained. They had like master's degrees in soccer training, and we designed a plan to bring them to professional teams here in Ecuador, where where some of that more like formal knowledge is required. People here, players here in Ecuador train without the sufficient knowledge, and so we designed this plan in this company called Innovation Football, um, to bring to bring all this knowledge from Spain. It ended up not resulting because I don't think our plan was made for the actual need of what teams were looking for at that moment. So we actually didn't have that much. How do you say that? Like that much. That opening with the team. We presented it in front of a couple of people, but it just never ended happening because there was a lack of commitment from some of the people that were involved in this project, and at the same time, like I was saying, we may have not targeted a specific need of what customers were looking for. So that was the first time I was trying to get into this entrepreneurial journey, if you will.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds great. Now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions also to just get to know you a little better, and all of you listeners can also get to know you. What's your favorite hobby?
Oh, my favorite hobby. Um, Man, I don't know. I think it's playing soccer and traveling.
Okay. Okay. So by what you're telling me, your two favorite hobbies, it seems like you also that's where your entrepreneurial direction is going, right? Right now you're involved with traveling, and you did something with soccer.
That's right. That's right. That's just right. I think when you want to start something on your own, you have to be really passionate about that. And so, being soccer and traveling, two of my favorite things, along with music, I think I would like to spend a lot of time doing that and being involved in the things that I enjoy the most, which in this case are traveling and soccer. So yeah, that's a good appreciation.
Okay, well that's great. Great to hear. Now tell us about a little bit about the best advice that you have ever received. It can be either personal or entrepreneurial. Yeah.
Well, I think in entrepreneurial, what I've found is, that trust is how valuable trust is. And, you can apply that both for, your personal life and also for um, your business life. I feel like um, trust, the value of trust is sometimes, a lot of the times undervalued, if you will. So when I look for for a co-founder, someone that I can do business with, whether that's a client or again like someone like a partner, or even if it's someone who's going to provide some type of material for me, I try to find that trust. If I don't trust that person, then like all the other things don't even matter anymore. Um, so that's kind of like the first. Um, I think that's the most important advice I've gotten, and I remember that the son of Stephen Covey, who wrote the Seven Habits of Successful People. I went to a conference of him once, and he was saying how like a lot of times businesses lose a lot of money for not trusting enough. And so he was giving this example of this donut guy in New York who, at one point, had too many clients to serve all the people to serve all the people correctly. So he had to like both give the donut right and receive the money, give the change. And so instead of hiring an extra person to handle the payments, what he did is he handled all like the delivery, I guess, of donuts, and then right next to him there was a table where people would leave the money and take their change on their own. And of course there were some people that may have stolen a couple of cents from him, but all that stolen money was less than hiring a full-time person with him. And so that example always sticks to me into how much businesses lose all the time for not trusting enough in their clients, not trusting enough in their founders, and not trusting enough in their employees either. So I think that's the most valuable advice I've got.
Okay. All right. So now let's talk a little bit more about your current venture. Tell us what kind of service does your company offer? Bucketpass.
Yeah. So me and my partner Carissa, she's from America. I'm from Ecuador, right? We met when we were in Southwestern. I was working. I was working in the mobile marketing department, and she was working in the communications department. And we both enjoyed traveling a lot. We did a lot of traveling inside the United States because we had all these free tickets with Southwest Airlines. And so as we were traveling inside the U.S., we actually got to buy a service from CityPass. So CityPass is a service where they give you tickets to the best attractions in each city. So if you go to New York, you'll get access to the Statue of Liberty, you'll get access to the Empire State Building, a couple of museums and stuff, and you'll save some money for buying this bundle pass. And so, Carissa had been, this was a total coincidence. Carissa had been a volunteer in Ecuador a couple of years ago, and she knew that, there was no such service in Quito. I knew that as well. I've always been passionate about tourism in my country, and so one day, and in the region in general, and so one day I told her, like, hey, CityPass is such a great service, and we should bring it down to Latin America. There are a couple more challenges. It's kind of like a different kind of environment that we have to deal with, but I think that this service would be successful there. And so we started working on a plan, and then basically a couple of months later we submitted our business plan to Quito's tourism bureau, and they had this contest for the most innovative and revolutionary projects. And so we submitted our business plan, and we were one of the winners, and they helped us launch what is now Bucketpass. And so Bucketpass, as I said, is this bundled pass to the best attractions in each city. So in Quito, you can go to the middle of the world monument, you can get a double-decker hop on, hop off pass, you can get access to the Sea Museum, you can get access to the most beautiful church in the city, and you'll save 20% when you buy this. You can buy it online, which is a big advantage of buying a Bucketpass, because once you get to many of the attractions in Quito, you will find that you can't buy anything with a credit card, basically. And so Bucketpass is able to do that, so you don't have to carry as much money. The pass is valid for 6 months, and you can use it. Anytime. Basically, you go at your own pace, right? So it's not different than than a tour. You can decide when to go to each attraction, kind of like based on your own plan. And so we basically focused on in between the person. We don't want to target the people who really want to go on the tour. And, those are not the people that we're looking for. And we're not looking for the backpackers, who may not even want to go to the attractions. We focus on the middle-aged person who's traveling, who really wants to see all there is to see in a city, but at the same time wants to save some money and wants to have guaranteed access to the best things out there. So that was kind of like kind of the service that we provide, and we launched a year ago. It's been so successful that we, in 4 months, we actually expanded to the Galapagos. So we now have, it's kind of a similar concept in the Galapagos. It's not attractions per se, but we have the best 4 tours 20% off, and so we really have a great deal in the Galapagos, which usually used to be really expensive. And we're thinking about expanding to Bogota, Buenos Aires, and Mexico City in the near future.
Okay, all right. Well, that's great to hear. I'm happy to hear that you've expanded to the Galapagos Island. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. So you said you have a partner. How do you work? Is she in Ecuador, and how do you all work together if she's not there?
She's actually in Austin, Texas. She's a teacher as well, just like me. We both have different jobs in this. But first of all, we created this very streamlined service. I mean, we basically outsource as much as we can. The other thing that we do is, I think our process, our full booking process, is fully automated. So we don't need to be, we don't have to manage with like reservations. We don't have to have any contact with the client. You go into a website, you buy it, you get a QR code, you go to your attraction. Basically, the client never talks to us. So it really doesn't require that much work, but we collaborate on, on other things that we need to do. So like, whenever we have to decide on advertisement, whether we have to decide on, next steps, business development, expansion, all that stuff, we basically do it remotely. And once every year, Grace also tries to come to Ecuador so that she can, have a better feel for our business here and what's going on.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. So tell us a little more about how you advertise and how you started with actually providing your service to the market. Basically, how did that happen?
Yeah. So our service is basically, our main focus is basically to sell fully online, and so we launched our website, right, which we developed ourselves, and that website is up and running, and we try to every month we do a little bit of revision on the SEO of the website so that we can improve and just organically get more visitors. The more visitors we get, the better the more visitors we get, the more chances we have of making having sales, I guess. When we started, our overall ranking position in Google, I think, was 39 or 43, I can't remember exactly. And now we're in the overall position, we're in position 18. So it obviously takes time, and there's a couple of steps that we still need to take to improve our SEO, but we rank in the first page in like very very essential keywords, like what to do in Quito and fun things to do in Quito and stuff. And so that's the main way. We also do a couple of some advertisement on social media, and then definitely Google AdWords as well. There are other ways that we sell our Bucketpass. Our Bucketpass is on sale in the main touristic office in Quito, and then a couple of hotels are also our partners, and they sell their Bucketpass to their customers.
Okay.
And so that's how we basically get to our customers and have the sales that we have.
Okay, well, that's great. And finally, a last question: do you have you ever turned down a client for some reason? Do you believe in the customer is always right kind of ideal?
Well, in our business, as it's fully online, as I said, we have really little contact with the customer. It's hard to turn them down, except when when their payment processor declines,
Right.
declines their credit card. That's basically when we turn someone away, mostly. But so far, I have to be grateful that we haven't had that many complaints started. However, we have had some, and even though we have our policies, and even though our clients accept those policies when they are making when they are purchasing the Bucketpass, sometimes we have arranged stuff so that the client can be satisfied with their product, even though it goes against our policies. So we have given refunds even though they were not applicable for refunds and stuff like that, because we want them to to be satisfied and to be happy with their overall purchase. And so it matters these days a lot to do that, as as people are always like looking for reviews and stuff. So we want to make sure we don't ruin our reputation.
Okay, and let me ask you actually one more. Any plans or any chances that we will see Bucketpass in New Orleans at some point?
Man, there's a couple of services like Bucketpass that's already going down in New Orleans, so I don't think New Orleans is kind of like the market we're going to focus on. We basically focus on markets in Latin America, and there's a simple reason for that. We feel like we know the market a lot better here than we know the tourism market in the United States. Even though it's huge, there's a big potential here. I mean, you can basically go into any tour in New Orleans or attraction and pay with a credit card. That doesn't happen in Ecuador. That doesn't happen in Argentina, or that doesn't happen in Mexico. Same thing goes for just I don't know, like even sometimes in countries in Latin America, you can go to an attraction, you will see that there's no official way of buying a ticket, but rather an informal way, and you may have to even like bargain or negotiate with the person who's selling the tickets, and so that kind of creates that's not a comfortable thing for tourists to do, and so we skip that, right? We guarantee that we have the best price for your tickets, and so that doesn't happen in the United States. I mean, you go to an attraction and you for sure will have the price that everyone has paid as well. You won't be charged more for just being a tourist. But that those kind of things do happen in Latin America. So we wanna stop that from happening again.
Okay, well that's awesome, Daniel. Thank you so much for joining us over the phone call. I'm sure everyone here in New Orleans will appreciate it. And once again, thank you so much.
No problem. It's my pleasure. I've seen you.